Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Yeah, let's see. Can you hear anything?
Is there any...
Nothing on here.
Hello.
Here we go.
Hello.
Sound.
Yeah. Hello.
As I talk, can you hear this?
Yeah, no, I'm sure we got sound now. How many minutes was that? Jesus.
Yes, says Oaks.
Yes,
We're getting our pit times quicker and quicker.
So what it actually is the
Woo! We're in.
If
You were
could,
talking about your dad.
if you could see behind the
We
scenes
have
of
to
the
start
HotBox,
again.
what we got running here is 2 phones. One of them is mine and one of them is somebody else's. And it's somebody else's laptop, and we're running this wirelessly to the laptop and out on a telecom router.
We are gorilla.
And you know what? The Achilles heel is the sound. Jesus, I don't know what happens with that sound half the time. Okay.
May I just say something? My auntie, guys, if you're listening, can you help us out?
Come sort us out here.
Come on, guys.
You know what
Come on.
You know what we need help with is just a really lekker mic.
That and a 4K camera and bandwidth. If
Bandwidth.
Father Kushmas is listening,
Yeah.
bandwidth.
Someone give us a satellite connection. Someone sort us out with a radio link to the nearest hotspot.
Yeah, no, that'll do it. But,
Folks, apologies for the technical error there, but let's get things back up and running. I think we'll just really quickly go over the beginning again.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Buzz. We'll do it all
What's
for
up?
welcome to another HotBox podcast. We're going to be talking dank this evening with Penny, Dan, and Jules. Some frequent faces. I'm sure it's going to be dank as ever. Just to give you guys an idea of what we're going to be talking about tonight. It looks like let's start at the beginning. Prices around the world of weed. We're going to be looking at that.
Very
expensive,
interesting.
cheap,
Very interesting.
Where does Joburg, Cape Town fit in? I'm not sure they're on here, but we'll give our own idea.
No,
Was there a
Joe
state?
Bogue's on
Yes, there was.
Is it?
We were there.
Joe Bogue's there.
And we were in a
Fuck,
good
I'm behind
place.
the old man.
Yeah, no, don't listen to him.
We're also going to be talking about the Dagga couple's recent trip to the Free State. And at the same time, things seem to have blown up in Stellenbosch. Much hype on Facebook about this, much drama. I think that's going to be the meat of this.
Restrain me, please.
Yeah, and we'll talk about tequila and all those wonderful things. Also, what seems to be happening is in America, the arse is falling out of the prices on weed. It
like
seems to be like the bubble done pop, and some oaks are coming short.
I want to grow so much fucking weed,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, no, bring me some weed.
Yeah, and then everyone's got, eh? It also looks like health insurers in the US now might be mandated to start paying for people's prescription marijuanas.
Wow.
So, good times.
That's good. That's good.
Hell of a thing.
That's
eh?
good. That's
Yeah,
a
could
good.
you
That's a
imagine?
good one.
Incredibly far-reaching and far-thinking stuff.
Yeah.
I
Never
mean-
thought about that in Obamacare and all that.
No, but there was this American dude that already sits and gets what a whole tin of 365 joints every
Yeah,
single.
the FBI do.
Oh, that oak with the sharp bones or something like that. The weird
See
humour.
those tins go up on eBay. See how much money people pay for the
For
old
the tins?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
really?
go on eBay and try and find those dudes' tins.
Really?
Yeah, no, they're
Wow.
absolute collectors
Yeah,
items.
they must be.
Because they're still in a metal tin.
And it has all the government insignia.
Yeah, like 300 a month, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
300.
Yeah, but they're such rough joints. It's like there's no filter. It's like smoking
Whole
a
plant
real
in a grinder.
it's low grade in it. But anyway,
Yeah,
we'll get into
that's
that.
another podcast.
And then things don't seem so airy in Lesotho.
Yeah.
The kingdom is starting to fight back.
The
Yeah,
kingdom fights back. Oh dear. Yeah, look, it's like a prophecy starting to unfold a little bit.
Yeah.
The more the headlines of the world going, it's legal to grow for brackets the people who managed to get themselves a license under the counter, and now the Basutus are watching the same feeds, going, hang on a minute.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
But we're gonna get there.
Oh, are we? Okay.
We're gonna get there. We'll get into all that. Let's start off what we're smoking tonight, guys. Dab-wise, I think we've got like a chronic cocktail.
It is a very nice cocktail. I just had some in the brief audio intermission that we had.
What
I
is
dabbed
it?
up.
What was it
And that's a
again?
Skywalker Chem Dog
Girl Scout.
Girl
There
Scout
we go.
cookie, and it tastes a bit more Girl Cookie than Chem Scout.
Yes.
And there's just a bit too much water in that top thing. If you checked, it's like tastier.
Fair
This
enough.
is from the Mountain Man. This is from the man who lives in the mountains, and he's got some pretty serious alchemy going on here. This is as clean as a whistle.
It's
very
like
nice.
if the voortrekkers were growing dank, so
Yeah,
growing
no,
that
if it-
voortrekker dank, eh?
Yeah, Voortrekker Dank.
So let's get into the story about wheat prices around the world. It's a leafy article. And I think let's start with. I missed it in this article. What did they say that the prices were in? Was it in Joburg or something? That
Well, the Joburg price is actually. You can see these guys can see it on the screen now, but Joburg is basically 2/3 of the way down.
We're in the bottom 5.
We're in the bottom 5, so. You know what? It just made me laugh a little bit that everyone says that all of this weed that gets busted is export quality. So maybe it is because it's the cheapest weed around as far as Leafly are concerned.
Really?
As far as illegal weed goes, yeah.
Is Cape Town not mentioned there?
No, $4.
Yeah, it says $4 a gram in Joburg.
$4, and what's the exchange rate now?
It's
Well, it's like
10 or
$60 a gram.
For
$60, yeah.
It's about right.
Yeah.
So it's 15 to 1 to the dollar. So that's round about right for just like medium grade greenhouse.
Yeah.
On the street somewhere. Maybe you'd get 120 at Banbury, or maybe you'd get 30 at the taxi rank in Javert Park.
Yeah.
But 60's about right. So all that export quality weed, it's all changing quite quickly. Eh?
But what are the prices around the...
Okay, I got them.
Oh, okay. I'm very
But what should
interested.
you expect for $60 in Joburg? Because also in Joburg, it's like who you know with everything. But what at $60, should there be much
Well, you
pips
don't know
in
what
it?
you're
Should there be
getting.
some nice
$60
grade of
essentially is
outdoor?
going to be low grade.
Not indoor.
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Touch, dude. I don't know. I would imagine that there's
Yeah.
going to be a few pips for $60. Yeah, and it's going to be pretty dry, and it'll have been compressed into the door panels of a fucking Chevy pickup or something.
The crotch of
Yeah.
a donkey crossing the border.
Because if you look at like the most expensive, yeah, it's apparently Tokyo, which is basically $33 a gram.
I think that's danger pay though.
What?
I think that's danger pay. I'm sure in Tokyo, get caught with that, literally in public, get your hands chopped off, lips removed, you're done. You're done.
That's expensive.
Remove
And how much is it in
fingerprints
the
off.
States?
We're going to get into that now because the States
Okay,
is...
yes,
the
but it's
States
keeping me
is-
hanging here.
The States is a
Yo.
complicated thing. The States isn't
So,
one-dimensional
Do you
with
ever
prices.
buy weed on the street? No, but do
You want me to...
Who still buys weed on
Okay.
the street?
Do you know
Come on.
anybody? I'm asking
well,
for a
let me
friend,
tell you
Penny. I'm just asking for a
Okay,
friend.
no, I don't give a shit.
When was the last time any of us bought weed on the
I
street?
used to.
We all did.
Until...
I make them come into the
When did I come up?
not on the street anymore.
About 2015. I would actually meet him in Woolies in Adley Street and walk around. I'd give him the money.
In
and-
Woolies in Adelaide.
I'm sorry.
No, but you see, I get off. Oh.
That's fucking white
I'm
monopoly
this-
capital
I'm
at
this
work.
Yeah, fuck that white privilege. No, it's called Umlungu old woman privilege. They
Yeah.
don't suspect me.
No, not in
I
any
mean,
form.
I'm walking in there. I mean, the guys used to say to me at work in Cape Town, "You are so brazen, we cannot fucking believe it."
No, my friend used to do that. Go there to the
Yeah.
shops and you have a packet
We
of chips
literally...
and put the stock in the chips, and then you sell it to the guy. Here's the chips.
Yeah, like, well, hey.
Yeah.
Or is it that if you do that in the store, the oak still has to pay for the chips now?
Jesus, it's
Because they
not.
can get
we just walk.
Yeah, you stealing! Oh fuck! No, I'm not. You don't want the chips? They're my chips. No.
I think
But
that.
people don't suspect me.
But the
They
thing is,
don't. I'm very
you're walking
lucky.
into the most videoed place on earth.
But that's the most
But
unsuspecting
that's the
place.
best
That's
thing.
the best
It's
place
when
to do
people
it.
do this and they
I
look
agree.
in and
I
they're
totally
like,
agree.
but you're just passing around here walking. I've got my arm around these and we're
Yeah,
laughing.
no, okay.
Well, have you seen there's that?
In plain
oh,
sight.
man.
Yeah.
There's that challenge. Have you seen that? I think it's hashtag too loud. And the
Loud.
challenge is to sit in a very public place like a McDonald's
And smoke a
or
joint.
malls and roll a joint and then smoke it and walk around smoking it until someone busts you. And the sooner you get busted, the louder your weed is because oak smoke. And you pass it to people around.
You're
It's quite
kidding.
fun. No, hashtag
Where?
too
Where?
loud.
Anywhere.
Anyway, the more public place, the better, because that's the
Yeah.
point. You're trying to see how long it takes before someone
And like,
busts
is
you.
everyone, somebody's filming somebody else doing it?
Okay, so
Oh.
Saturday, Nelson
sounds like
Mandela
fun.
Square.
No, right in the middle of like the Bryanston shopping centre when everyone's doing like
But you can't
Saturday
in a
night.
shopping
No,
centre.
That's
no.
the point.
In like a
Oh.
Friday night movie in the cinema.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yeah, no, there's a
Literally, then see if someone complains.
Pull out your dab rig with the car battery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even have
Dr.
to
Dabba.
see if they tune you. What's that smell? Oh, sorry, it's just my potpourri handbag. I brought my granny's handbag
Pot
with me.
puree. Yeah, right.
It's my granny's ashes with this paper
It's my
potpourri.
granny's ashes.
But looking at this Leafly article, it does bring me to a point though. It's like how much would you be prepared to pay for a grand?
I think there's
Like
another
if it's
question.
dire, if you've got no fucking options and it's been like a fucking month of no weed.
Yeah, but
There's
like,
a question you need to ask before that. What can a person afford? That's the big thing.
So we should do a
And
percentage
especially,
of.
you must remember, people's increase is only half of what the cost of living increase is.
yeah, not even.
Yeah.
But that's
Like
Slavery
there's a
is
price you're
nothing.
prepared to pay on the 1st of the month, and there's a price you're prepared to pay on the 23rd of the month.
It's like your salty crits. They loaded, piled on. It come later, they just got fucking butter on.
Baked beans and toast.
So at the end of the month, the bush dagga with the pips is fine.
Well, let's ask them, what's the most you've ever paid a grand? And in a personal capacity, I know economics or scale and all that, and we can do a boring BMW chart. But like personally, what's the most you've ever paid?
In Amsterdam, I paid the equivalent of $150 a gram, but it's rarely that I buy it in South Africa. To tell you the truth.
150 rand, and that was where you went over recently.
Yeah, last year. Last year.
Because
was,
in 2006, I was getting a gram for €5.
Oh no, it's up to between 10 and 15.
Well, yeah, that was about the time I was there.
Between 10 and
Yeah,
15,
because
depends on the
exchange rate was 10 to
establishment.
1
Okay,
when
cool.
I went.
Alright,
March,
so-
April 2006.
That's not bad.
Greenhouse runs at about €14, and some of them at less than 10. 10 up to 13, and around $12 a gram. 12 euro a gram.
So it's almost just over double.
But now we had a thing in here 2-3 weeks ago that somebody had left behind, and that was $260 for a gram of what he left.
Really?
Downtown, and that was a whole bunch of Middle Eastern genetics. Fucking beautifully grown now. I mean, Christ, top drawer, but you know what? It didn't really take out your front teeth, and it didn't make you go like. It didn't really.
Like some people when they get the greenies.
It didn't. I thought for $260 a gram, I'd have to go really easy on something that powerful. But hey, it was nothing to really write home about. Beautifully pure, mauled, excellent. There's no waste. Just nice.
So that's 260.
rand.
But now remember, we must also remember this, that 260 is now coming from the end seller. So we've got to try and track that back as to what is the grower selling it at.
What's a kilo of that go now? As if somebody wants it, if somebody's trying to sell it in dime bankies for $260, it must be at least $150 a kilo.
No, but I imagine that grade of bud doesn't
Yeah.
move hands too much. Like I can imagine like some Lesotho bud that comes on the donkey and then via the mum and then via the cassia and then via the dealer or whatever. But I imagine bud in that market generally moves from one to the next to the sale.
Yeah, I'd say,
You know,
I'd
it's a
say
very
change of hands
small-
2 or 3 times max, I think.
Yeah, because
Max, because you know there's too much. It's just sold at such a high price because of growing in this country.
I think
That's
at the
high
moment,
level. It's like
your original question, how much you're prepared to pay. There is a drought in Josen, but there always is now. This is the lean months of everyone burst apart at Christmas, and now everyone's waiting for the grow to grow. Sure. Yeah, that's why there's all these busts around and around and around. There's these fucking 4-meter ganja bushes in everybody's backyard at the moment. And you know, people, they chop the top off and it just gets worse.
I think, no, this will help. This will help.
Yeah,
Cuts and they're like,
no
oh my
way,
lord, what have I
Joseph.
done?
Oh god, now you got 6 freaking things coming over the top of it.
it's like smearing Bob Martins on your pubes. It just
Yes, have you tried that?
Bob Martins.
Smearing Bob Martin on your pubes?
No.
No, I wonder why I don't know, he's got loads of pets. You never know what this is.
The best bit's getting it
Martins.
cut off. That's just man.
And then you get a good boy when you finish.
I remember seeing Billy Connolly live in like
Oh, he's so
1977 or
funny.
something like that. And he was always telling the story in the late 70s about how comes everyone spends a fortune on the shampoo for the hair on their head, but you don't have to do anything to their pubes.
Yeah.
It just goes swing all the time. You don't have to condition them. You don't have to comb it out. Nothing. They're just one all the time. And that was like 1977.
Could you imagine the teeny tiny straightening irons?
Yes,
Getting your
rosin
pubes just
press.
right. Enough of that though.
Right, okay, moving on.
Oh, sorry, can I just... Mary Lou.
Mary Lou.
Yeah,
Can
Mary
you
Lou.
see I put it right? I hope it's the can.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, Mary Lou's a bit OCD about the thing
So am
falling
I.
down. Are you? Okay.
I'm
So
half
Mary Lou,
German,
if you're
I'm a Virgo. Come on.
Mary Lou, if you're on the live feed,
Yeah, please let us know.
practice class on Instagram. Practice. I'm always looking for somebody just saying, Armand, he's just saying go to Praxis Glass. And you know what, Armand? I will. Because I'm a bit of a thing for... I'm more addicted to the glass than the weed, for sure.
Cool. So, Jules, you were saying that you went to the Free State. I think it was last weekend?
Yeah, we drove down whenever it was, last Friday during the day, and we found this amazing straight road for 100 k's in a straight line into the Free State.
But it was into the Lion's Den, wasn't it?
It was completely into the Lion's Den. I think there were 9 government agencies on the stage. Everyone lit up when we walked in. We were the dots on the domino. We were in a deep Free State township now. And a lot of Rastafari and a lot of local community. And everybody, the whole idea was that it was a youth empowerment program. And there was a whole bunch of teenagers and adolescents in there and young people listening to all the government agencies telling them for 10 minutes what their agency can do for them as far as careers or filling in forms or getting information or getting on with stuff. So the Department of Agriculture, Transport, Health and other local nurses.
Everybody you were suing.
4 out of 9 of the people there were people we were suing, but at that level they wouldn't have a clue about any of that at all. And Myrtle was invited to speak for 10 minutes to describe what we do as a non-profit company as an opportunity for South African communities. So we had to engineer this brand new presentation for the youth. Youth Dagga. What? Youth? What about the youth? You know. So now we're embracing the youth for a forward-thinking 5-year plan of how legalization can help the community. So we went back the next day on the Saturday morning, and as I switched my phone on in the cheapest guest house in the known universe, there's 1 layer of bricks between us and the outside. You can see through the crack into the car. No. What a story this place was. Anyway, I put my phone on and all hell had let loose over during the night in Stellenbosch, and it desperately affected me. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but I literally burst into tears when I finished reading it, because the pressure of now doing this brand new presentation to the Lion's Den, as he put it, then this coming through with this just raw, brutal story of blow by blow of cops bashing down doors.
I think Buzz is going to do that later.
Anyway,
Tell us about your
look,
trip.
the presentation was amazing. We felt very humbled because the community did this whip round, and they'd actually, with the money we got from them, it paid for all the accommodation, for the food that we had, and some of the petrol money. So if we could do that every weekend, I'd be a happy man.
But now, when you said the youth, what was the age group?
Hard to tell. No, by the time Saturday came, it was billed for 10, but in sort of very, very organically by 11 it got going, and there must have been 150 people in the room, and by then it was just about everybody, because the Rastas had been out on the backies with the megaphone, old school, come and see the Dagga couple, come and hear about legalisation, and you could hear it going around the township, and people drifted in and they listened.
So cool.
And you know what I thought? There was all of this story on Twitter about, there was a whole bunch of black people saying we want to get rid of Afrikaans, it's obsolete. I don't know whether you're part of that. Did you hear that whole story? There's a whole bunch of people saying that.
And the last census, more people speak Afrikaans than English.
Right, well, you see, I was a foreigner completely. I was completely white and completely English. And everybody spoke Afrikaans. And I thought, if you get rid of Afrikaans, how are these people going to converse? Because it is their mother tongue, basically, really.
What is it? Zulu first, and then it's Afrikaans, and then English.
I think Sotho's big, but anyway.
Afrikaans is spoken by low.
Yeah, but it's a big deal. We know we're going to see lots of frikkie van der Merwe type weeds in the future from the Free State as well.
I hope so.
So I think the Free State will be relevant. But like you were saying, so guys, it was kind of the biggest story of the week locally, I think, is that shit really kicked off in Stellenbosch.
It did kick off.
And
awful.
To give you the rundown, so basically, this couple, the cops rocked up from what I understand. And so either someone had called them, basically they'd been rolled on, and they had like 20 grams of weed on them. And apparently the cops were quite rah.
And
took
money.
the
And
money.
and there was like, apparently, and I'm just quoting from, hearsay at the moment, but there was like 15 grand cash apparently, that also cops took. And apparently it got to a point where one of the officers wanted to give the wife in the couple, who's apparently like 34 weeks pregnant or something.
Yeah, heavily pregnant apparently.
A cavity search.
Yeah.
And then not long after, another violent protest, thing happened in Stellenbosch where people got shot with rubber bullets.
You missed
as well.
one thing. The man's hair.
Oh, did they pull the man's dreads or
They
something?
cut
They
his
cut off
dreads.
his dreads.
He had
off,
been growing for 30 years. That's like going into
there's
the
his
Catholic
dreads on the
Church.
picture there, look.
It's like going into the Catholic Church and pissing on the altar. You do not do that.
Disrespect to the.
There's the
level.
dude there with like 2/3 of his hair gone, and then they put it on a shrine. Rubber bullets going off. Look at the chin
Is
of
this
that
the
lady
couple
there.
that was Basto? No.
No,
this is just in the
a whole,
community.
no, a whole bunch of people were rounded up. This was a complete sweep, and we just got the reason we got this raw messenger was we know this lady, we know her boyfriend, and they've been hustled before in another place, and so they knew how to get hold of us, and we got. Well, I mean, now it's surreal, you know. Now this is happening, or it's happened 8 hours before. They're all in the jail, and we have to put on this bright face and do a brand new presentation to all these O's in front of us. What a surreal day of cannabis activism, matey. And if anybody wants to diss us and say, you fucking lie, you sit at home and you don't do anything, you don't know what the fuck you're playing at. Jesus, we got bombarded that day with cannabis activism.
But also, if I can, just to devil's advocate this a bit though. You know, there's like always three sides to every story.
He's, hers, and the truth.
Yeah.
Oh, hers, and the truth.
A part of me does wonder, don't get me wrong, I get that this oak's probably be profiled for as long as he's been a Rasta, because they're such stereotypical targets. They're so easy to identify and that. And maybe he's had a bit much of it, I can't say, but I think this testifies to how quickly things can escalate. Because maybe this was a situation where the cops that just escalated. Maybe the cops got there between them and the couple that escalated together. Maybe it took two to tango to get to such a point. Because I think it is a lesson, and even if the cops are dickheads in the situation, I understand dickheads then, but if they weren't dickheads to start and they escalated it together, it's a lesson in like, be careful of how chacharach you can maybe be.
Excuse me, but this is where it comes in. One very simple thing, our police are not competent. That's why they blocked me on Twitter. They are overweight, unfit, incompetent, corrupt, and fucking liars. They are incompetent because a policeman, I knew police, okay, growing up in the 70s and 80s. Police are trained how to deal with a situation. You are supposed to be the calming factor at all times. Mm-hmm. It's like being any manager when you have people who work under you. And there's a lot of managers who need to take note here too. You talk to the people who you're dealing with. It's all about the manner in which you talk and you portray yourself. Our cops are untrained. I mean, look, we know so many of them have criminal records. They are not competent. Our police force needs to be retested because a decent cop who honoured his badge and been a public civil servant would not let a situation escalate.
Would not finger or fist
you have all
woman.
you have all been found wanting.
You know where it comes from? The very top of the tree at the
obviously
at the station commander that day. He needs 40 arrests. He knows exactly where everyone is.
Where he's trying to get
They know exactly where everybody is. They do a raid
and they prey on them.
And they just prey on these people, and it's very easy to haul them all in. The majority of the people that ended up in Stellenbosch Nick were Rastafari on the Saturday night. Some got bail on Sunday, I believe, and then most were out on Monday. But by the time we got through the weekend, Myrtle and I got back to Joburg by late afternoon on the Sunday. There's like everybody's out and about. Jeremy Acton's on the phone to us, coordinating his letter. We'll talk about that in a minute. And people on the ground, Brian Rascora, Rastafari Brian Rascora, he's one of our expert witnesses. He's a very senior Rastafarian in the community. I tagged him before I went and did the whole presentation. He knew about it, so I could kind of relax a bit. If Brian knows he's in that hood, then because I hadn't twigged that I know this lady yet. I'm spooked with the whole thing of the visions of what just went down, because we've all had cops in our house. I had cops in my house for 5 hours, and you know what? I've had a robbery as well, but the fucking cops are much scarier than any robber. True story.
Well, I think if we can, maybe it's a top-down thing. Penny, you've got a quote on your phone from, I think, what's it? Fakile, crush their nuts, crush their balls.
Fear fuck all.
Fear fuck all, shoot to kill.
I'd like you in a fucking dark room.
But I haven't heard this quote yet. I don't know, Dan, if you've read it or heard it.
Yeah, I researched that sucker, yeah.
Penny, if you'll feed it to us then quick.
We've got an appointment with them and we are coming for them because we cannot allow South Africans to be gripped in fear by criminals. We must squeeze the space for criminals and we must make it unbearable. Our police force is on the ground to ensure that these criminals have got an unbearable fear and an unbearable lifestyle. Police Minister Fikile Mobale, Cape Town, May 2017.
Yeah, true.
I got a newsflash for you, arsehole. You are incompetent. You can go and attend Benon's 30th birthday as Mr. Razmataz. Then he was sports minister. We all know what you did to the sports department. Fuck.
Yeah.
And now you're Mr. Fear Fokol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you fear your own fucking shadow, don't you?
From the depths of a 12-story
No,
condo
sorry.
in Dubai somewhere.
And
Listen,
in case he's listening, sorry, on the 31st of January on Twitter at 4:29 p.m, you might have got a notification. It reads as follows. 1. No search warrant. 2. Cavity searching a pregnant woman. 3. Stealing from the citizens. All of the above from our police. What say you at? And I tagged you, Police Minister, and the quote that I tweeted was from the Dagga couple with Stellenbosch shame. So you're always on Twitter. Can you stop masturbating to girly pics to answer my tweets? Thank you, Fear Fokol.
Yeah, fear fuck all. You know what? There's a problem with some criminals. There's a problem with drugs, but the people who are dealing with that drug problem see the drugs as the problem, not the symptom. Yeah. So we got a long, long way to go before all of that sorts itself out. Legalise whatever you want. But our point to the police minister is, what exactly is the point of cutting people's hair off and tossing them in a prison for 2 days? That's malice. That's nothing to do with doing my job. Because you know where they are for months. They're not a flight risk. They haven't got anything to go anywhere with.
Yeah.
We couldn't get hold of them the next day because their phones are gone, obviously. Then now we're dealing with different phone numbers of other people, and then we get a message on Monday lunchtime. I'm in an internet cafe trying to do the thing and logging on to join the queue because we're trying to get all the people that have been hustled that weekend, all the people who have charges against them, we're trying to collate them and join the queue with the case numbers. So we're taking some legal advice to try and figure out if there's some sort of class action. But there's many people doing many things. So we've got it on the boil. It's at the Mail and Guardian. The Bealt rang me about it. It's going around the mill.
Things look pretty hectic in Stellenbosch. You know, Cape Town's dealing with min water, but to deal with that as well,
Jesus,
it's
yeah.
like,
why aren't they shipping in truckloads of
Or
water?
spending
in
this
police
money on
trucks or
sorting
something?
out the problem that they have. And
I think that's another podcast altogether. Alex.
No, can I say something there? Haven't you
Yeah.
noticed a pattern?
Oh,
Okay. Nelson Mandela Bay
yeah.
has run out of water already. Cape Town is about to. Those are the only two provinces that are led by who?
It gets the ANC turning off the
The
tap.
DA.
Oh, man.
And no,
would be
everybody
a big
blames
thing.
Helen Zille and the Western Cape government. They cannot do anything. They need national government. And about 2 months ago, 6 weeks
Jesus,
ago,
I never thought of that before.
Carte Blanche did an insert on this.
Oh, yeah?
And Patricia DeLille and somebody else, not Helen Zille, they were giving the dates of all their correspondence from years back to national government. National government, this is, think about it. How can they win this? Haven't you seen already the ANC are now talking about getting Antipati on board? It was on Times Up this
I
morning.
bet Fikile and Bulula's involved.
And this,
It must
no,
be.
but this is, you think about it, they've always wanted the Western Cape. What perfect way? The provincial government cannot do anything like
Without
that.
funding, yeah.
Like with the desalination and all that. It has to come from national government. Debbie Sankari Governor covered it.
Okay.
Go onto Carte Blanche's website because you can go to back episodes.
There's
That's
all-
Oaks. That's a deep, another rabbit hole. Because
Yeah.
number next up on the topic.
Listen, I research rabbit holes, okay? And I'm a brilliant researcher.
Yeah, that's
Queen
why
of
you're
the
here,
rabbit
Penny.
holes.
I think you've been a guest more than anybody on the podcast.
Third time.
Yeah, you
Third
see.
time.
Because you stir the shit.
They
you know,
invited me back.
you know what cock this lady praats, but it's all the truth, eh?
As somebody said to me once before, you say what most people think. And the thing is, I was
What do you mean
silenced.
you're blunt?
I was silenced for 34 years. When
Yeah.
I found my voice 20 years ago, I will not be silenced again. Do
Good
not
on you.
tell
Hear,
me
hear.
to stand
Good on
down.
you.
Because I followed all your rules for 30 years and it got me fucking nowhere.
Right.
So none of that know
now's your
your
chance.
wrong woman shit, yeah.
Now's your chance. You can get a word in edgewise.
So it looks like prices in the US, and Dan, I think you'll have some valuable
Oh, at
insights
last!
here.
Yes, at last.
Prices
Well,
in the US.
on
I
that
forgot.
quickly, one of our
No, I
Yeah,
forgot
here's-
about this.
one of our persons on the chat.
Yeah,
they-
Praxis Glass.
Praxis
Here's
Glass.
Praxis Glass.
Oh, let's
Are they
see.
local?
Yes, they're local glass blowers. They've got
And
some
who was
pipes,
that you told you to go to it?
That was Praxis
On the
Glass.
live feed
on
now.
our live feed.
Oh, I thought it was a
Somebody's-
man's name.
Message them. Practice Glass, get a hold of us on like
Yeah.
Filter Green because we should
Contact one
talk
of
to you
us.
about things then.
Yeah.
Because we like playing
Because
nice
we're a
with
big
oats.
fan of smoking shit out of glass.
I'll contact you.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to be really
Cool.
naive. What is the glass for?
It's
Pipes.
pipes, glass pipes and stuff.
Well,
They blow.
man.
Yes, it's. It leads to harder stuff.
No, man, shush.
Oh no, they're on Instagram as well. So yeah, they're
Yeah, we'll get out you
there's some
guys.
groovy looking bits.
But are they...
So
yeah.
the bottom line with the cop thing is, as I said in the blog post, there are huge problems in impoverished areas around the world, not just Stellenbosch, where it's out of control and the gangsters run the show because the only economy there is overpriced drugs. And they're overpriced because they're hectic and illegal and sort of you risk your life and your liberty over this shit. Prices fucking skyrocketed. So if they made it completely decriminalised and nobody went down, that's the first step to all of it. But they think that the weed is the problem, not a symptom of this massive, massive socio-economic problem.
But they see it as a black and white thing because also you think you're going to target, when you're arresting that weed user, you're targeting that person. That person is still a part of the community. It still ripples. Everything still has effects.
Jesus.
So you're not like, boom, that person's isolated, everything's cool, you fuck shit up.
Yeah.
You fuck shit
Yeah,
up.
no, that's what
Because
the
they're
malice is,
functional.
you know?
They're functional in society, whereas a heroin addict is not quite functional and he's not someone that actually is in society. It's going to cause a ripple. So take a heroin addict out that's literally stealing from people. Yes, it's going to cause a slight ripple, but not the ripple that would happen to someone that's a stoner or someone that at least has some weed on him, but goes to work every day, works for the family, brings the bread home, and does his part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a huge.
There's already
it's a-
loads of them.
And all that,
Yeah.
and he's doing his part. He's not being like the lazy or the thief or the
He's putting food on the table.
It
and that's
could
about
be
it.
your child's school teacher.
There we go. Exactly.
And nobody's getting rich. They're
Course.
just keeping it together.
Also, and maybe this
That's
is a reiteration of a similar question we had, because we asked like about busts and that. But how many times have we seen busts and it's just weed? It's not bodies in the basement.
No,
it's not kids in the cupboard.
Or illegal
You
firearms.
know what?
Or mandrax.
I've been looking for that on the Twitter feed because I look at the word Dagga and the hashtag Dagga all day long. Well, not all day, but I get the feed coming through. And they have actually, after loads of moaning by the likes of us lot, they have been putting in a couple other things and firearms and a bit of tick here and 117 mandrax pills. I think, fuck, that's going to kill supply.
My old man could smoke that in the afternoon.
But that's why are they always grinning like Cheshire cats? You got the bowl of cream.
And they
Because they didn't do anything to do it.
Exactly.
They walked up on their bus and they didn't have to go
But
chase the
that's
dude
the
down or do some
little
detective
guy.
work
There's
or
still the
actually
little
do some
man.
policing work.
They're getting very close to the bone with the photos as well. There's people in those photos and they are accused. They're not convicted yet. And you can't have people's shots. It's getting so close to the bone on people's full photos.
That's actually true.
Yeah, no, for sure. But all of that...
Because the papers don't show pictures either until they've pleaded.
Right.
No, it's
Yeah.
scary business. But anyway, the States, guys. So,
Yes, I forgot.
Oh, yeah, the States.
Fuck, you kept us hanging for so long. Yes.
it's a story on, let's check,
Don't let the power go.
MJBizDaily.com. Decimated oversupply is wrecking things in the States. Basically what that means is the States, it was lacquer. There were a couple of states that had things legalized. So people would come and it would be this bottleneck and it kept prices up pretty high. But now that we've seen more states legalize, there's actually starting to be situations of oversupply. And from what I understand it, like a pound, which is like half a kilogram of decent bud wholesale, used to be about $400
Half a
in the
kilo
US.
is what, 500 grams?
Yeah, about 500. It's like
Yeah.
4.18 a pound.
How
Whatever.
much? Are we waiting for this little guy here?
Let's ask Google that. But now the deal is, it's gone from like $300-400 a pound to as low as 50. It seems to be sitting at 100, but in some instances they say realistically
It was
it's now going to hit
$300.
$50 a pound,
So
which
that
is like a rand a gram.
$50 for half a kilo. $50 for half a kilo of weed is
750 rand.
it's
for half a kilo
750 rand. So it's
Of
$1,500 a kilo.
of primo
For
ganja.
not so much
So it's
primo,
like-
no, it does say there is. This is not specialist outlets doing short
but
order
it's nice
indoor
outdoor.
bud, but this is great outdoor, the staple
Oh,
diet
okay.
of all the smokers everywhere. There's such a glut, and there's so many people. I think in the article it said there were 500 outlets and another 140 coming online for
Well, that's
getting
why.
your bud. But I
So
mean,
it's-
it's been in Oregon. This is Oregon, yeah. It's been like
Yeah.
there since the 90s. It's a kind of part of the family. But so many people have jumped in with their dispensary or whatever, or it's full on. It's full legalization now.
But
There's-
that's not a bad price, but said that it was $300.
It started off.
I mean,
I
that's
think in
so
Colorado.
good.
Everywhere that was,
My
every
gosh.
documentary you watch, like everything, if you watch for like most of the 90s and up to about 3-4 years ago, that used to be the rate, $300 to $400 a pound of
Okay.
decent bud.
You
Nothing else
asked
but
for the
decent.
most we've paid. I would not pay that, sir.
But that's a pound.
But you know
remember,
what?
of that.
Why not? I mean, it's legal. You can go in the shop, get a scave, hang out, get a latte,
You must-
move
when
on.
you
I
smoke
pay one.
cigarettes, you buy a carton, right?
What
Yeah.
price?
Yeah.
You buy a carton of cigarettes, you buy a whole 6-pack of beer and store them in your cupboard. You buy a whole pound of
That's
weed and store that in
true.
jars that is there for
Yeah, completely. Look
The
at the
whole
weed.
week.
We got the weed stored up there. Look.
pounds of it.
Pounds.
And I still did go. Can I just read you something?
Yeah.
This is my daughter. I told her coming on. Hey, Ma, have fun and good luck. We'll check it out again. I remember the last time you did it.
Wow. She
Nice.
remembers.
I love her. Hello, darling.
But then if we do the math of it,
What are
then
these?
like,
How far?
Realistically,
Yeah,
like-
3/4 of an hour.
what do you reckon it costs to grow? I know there's a gram and a gram, but what do you think is the cheapest you could really grow a decent gram at? 'Cause
What, in Africa?
It does cost.
It
What,
doesn't
indoor,
cost-
outdoor?
Let's assume this sort of grade, a good outdoor.
I don't think it costs
Free.
that much. Yeah, essentially
Free.
it's your time.
Reckon free.
Yes, free.
Yeah, no, I reckon it's just
Africa's
your time.
got soil that is so fertile, we
Yeah.
can literally... Come on, like it's free. It is free.
Yeah.
You can grow a plant outdoors.
And,
Yeah, but your time's got to be worth something.
Okay,
yeah,
but
well,
okay, no, but
quantify that.
this is your
And
own
you
time
probably-
to getting something for yourself. So yes, you're rewarding yourself with your time. So
But if you were to
Yeah,
sell
it's
it,
like a
you need to
hobby.
sell by pounds.
Hey, look, you're not going to be doing
Kilos?
that on your own either. There's
You would-
wages to
I think-
pay. There's some serious wages
well,
to
yes,
pay.
we
you know?
talk. Look, we're talking about just to get a base grant, but yes, if you've got a whole farm, then the cost comes in where you're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have to pay people.
The Clippers.
Yeah, the time.
Oh, I love that job.
Clipping.com. Fuck, it's
Oh,
great.
I-
Clipping's like one of those jobs. I
I
got over
love
clipping in
that.
about 1997.
Because you can only go so
Yeah.
low
I
the
did it
price.
for the first time 2 years back.
Is that like
I
a
love
month? Is
it.
that like a month
I
after your
said,
first time clipping?
only when I did it 2 years ago did I realize where this saying sticky fingers comes from.
Sticky fingers.
I'm very naive still.
Yeah, sticky
Believe it or
fingers.
not.
But what do you reckon is a realistic number for like a commercial sort of oak? Because these are mostly commercial oaks, I imagine.
I'm sure.
If-
Fuck, I don't know. I've never actually had to quantify it like that.
yeah.
How much does it cost to crop? You're going to bring in some super seaweed nutrients and a whole bunch of other stuff and really pamper them, or you're just going to make your own compost and you're on the side of a hill? Seed is where seems to be where the money's at. So how much did it cost you to buy the seed in the first place? Because
Yeah.
are you going to be breeding seed at the same time as you're growing a field of green? Because there's a big
Well, as a
job on
noob
it.
grower, you wouldn't have anything. So you're going to buy a seed.
So there's,
Make clones.
You're
there
gonna
is
buy-
your initial cost is that.
Yeah, your seed, and then you are going to buy your dome or a small pot or a small tunnel. So there could be costs depending on how you decide
Yeah.
to grow. I mean, there's guys that, us Africans, we grow in a field, in an old tire that you get off the side of the road, find a bush that's growing really green and well, take that soil, put it in the thing and grow.
So that,
In Africa, we're lucky. We're very lucky to be able to do that kind of stuff.
and very few people build in the fact that you're going to be watching them for 4 months, 5 months, and you're going to be having to live and eat and pay rent and stuff. So that is all part of how much it costs to grow all of these plants. Because if that's all you're doing, you've got all
Well,
these
yes,
overheads
yes.
coming in all the time.
If that's all you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to be a proper farmer and work this out over a period. As an outdoor farmer.
You've got to treat it as a
harvest
business.
year.
At the end of the day, if you're going to do this to sell, you have to treat it as a business and work it out.
If you're
What
doing
is
it to
time
sell
worth?
and you're growing outdoor, you need a fuckload to actually last 12 months. I don't know anybody that can, like...
I'd like to be a
Because it-
manager. I'd like to be a manager on
Farm
one of the
manager.
farms.
You could be
Oh,
a
I'm
manager on one of the
brilliant.
farms.
I am
Do you
brilliant
know
at running
Excel?
shit
Do you
and
know how to
putting-
do Excel?
I know how to run things. And I'm not being...
That's it.
My ex and I had a garage. When he was pissed most of the time, who ran the garage?
I see.
You can't bullshit me about cars. I'm not one of those women.
Okay.
So yeah, and I mean, you look now how I'm running, you know,
So, you know-
with admin and putting practices in place. I've run a real estate agency in Komaki.
Okay, you've got the job, sold. And you got your own
I
car.
am
Oh, no, you haven't got
brilliant.
your own car. Sorry, no, you haven't got your own
Yeah,
car.
no,
No,
I use
it's your
public
time.
transport.
Because if you think about this thing,
I'm very good at
if
what
I
I
were
do.
to think about if it would be worthwhile committing to like a committed life, farmhouse, weed or whatever,
Yeah.
and you think that these oaks are having to sell it at basically a rand 50 a gram,
No.
their cost, there must be so little in it that is it really worthwhile? Because then you're taking a tree that if a while ago you grew a staunch plant, and that would be worth about, putting in your rand terms, 10,000 rand done well, a good plant. And now you're saying that plant's only worth 1,000 rand.
Wow.
Is it worth it?
Well, it's a hell of a-
Would guys be incentivized?
It's a hell of,
to
it's
pay
a,
you?
yes, it's a hell of a lot more worth than growing strawberry plants or
Still.
hay. Of course.
Um,
Of course it is.
there's
Even
a-
though yeah, definitely.
There's a very famous quote by Ben Dronkers, the man who started Sensi Seeds, and he said, "You will be able to double your money by selling weed at 50 cents a gram. 50 US cents a gram, you will still make a profit on the weed." And that
Wow.
he still thinks that holds true today. And the reason he does is because Uruguay is selling it at $1 a gram to crash the black market. That's their modus operandi.
That's
To get rid of the black market, almost give it away. Then there's no profit in it. But there are still 14 multinationals looking for the license at 50 cents a gram. So the answer to your question is 50 US cents a gram, which is what, 4 times 15? Like £2.
Remember, the bigger you go, the cheaper it's going to become.
Economies
Yeah.
of scale, I get
Just-
it.
It's all going to level itself out, just like...
Africa's got the most land to grow cannabis on. It'll be literally free. Essentially, this should be so cheap that every person in the township, in the most farthest, outest, ruralist
Yeah.
place ever, should
Yeah.
have access to oil
Yeah.
and flippin'
Yeah.
butter and everything. They should, because this is like the most, it's like this here.
Because then
Moringa. Here's Moringa. This is available now. It's on every garage you
But
can
you
get
need
this.
to remember,
There should be cannabis that should
hold
be
on, now you
available.
see, this is the business side. You cannot say that it needs to be available to everybody because we're talking about farms. You got the farm owner, you got somebody who's managing it, you have a foreman who's
Yeah.
taking care of the workers. Those people need to be paid.
Of course.
So you can't just give stuff away.
No, not give it away. Make it available. So I'm saying, if they can
Okay.
grow at such a large scale and they can
But you must
extract.
remember there's a lot of poor people in our country, huh?
This is what I'm
And
trying to say.
unemployed
So if I
and-
grow in a room this size, right, and I put up 10 1,000 watt lights and I do my whole spiel here,
But
I'm
then
going to
that's a different
charge you
Oh, yeah.
200, 150 rand a gram because that is what's going to cost me at least 100 rand a gram to run it properly and
Really?
make sure that. Well, I'm just no.
Yeah, okay.
ballparks.
But you could
It's
also
costing me.
employ people.
It's going to cost me more then. Just listen. So now if I go out into a field and I have a hectare of cannabis and I can grow that to a standard that is acceptable, because remember you don't need to have chronic
all the
for
time.
someone that's for anyone, you know. So if you can have a hectare of cannabis and you can then process that down and get huge amounts of oil, for instance, and make that available to then people in the rural area they go to their doctor and they say, look, we need the oil. There it is. At a much cheaper price. Instead of them going to the doctor and the doctor says, well, look, you know, Pfizer over there is prescribing this generic or this that you're going to have to pay 50 or 100 or 200 or 300 rand, where we can say, well, hold on, we can provide this to you for 15 rand type thing. Like, it's cheap. It's that kind of scale. And it needs to be because that's like Uruguay's doing it.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
you start walking really nicely into our next topic. It's like Telegram that. We're seeing in Lesotho now that there's objections now to what's going down. So we know that Verve Dynamics and apparently who knows else has got licenses going on there. But now we're seeing it being in the local news stories there and like a local activist looking dude that they're saying, wait, the people are saying, whoa, wait, what the fuck? We've been growing this shit forever. We know this thing. Help us, yes, teach us a bit, but why aren't you including us in this?
But
why
apparently,
is it going to
I spoke
Cape
to
Town?
someone that said that they have. Well, not said that they have. If basically we go back to the articles, they basically, from what I can remember, they did. They said that they consulted with the locals and spoke to government, and basically they did the process. If they did, we don't know. You know, we
They
read
did due process,
due
but
process,
that
thank you,
doesn't
yeah.
mean that the locals were happy.
No, they
Yeah.
put a
Yeah.
notice
As
up
long
at the
as
bus
they-
and say
stop.
it is going to happen.
Yeah.
So yes, it's absolutely terrible if they. Well, the thing is, if the locals didn't object to it, and it was just sprung upon them. Hell, of course, they've got every right to, you know, say this is
And I can't
absolutely-
imagine they were really consulted because it was very quiet. This came out of nowhere, the story.
Yeah,
But
look,
you know where
it's-
this thing's located, eh? It's in the mount. It's so deep. You don't just walk past it. It's like you have to drive there hours in a car to get to the location that thing's at. It's deep. So,
It has to be deep, yeah. Look, Lesotho,
So
all
they-
eyes are on Lesotho, but as soon as the headline comes out of California that there's or Canada or somewhere else that now the emerald green and the kingdom,
Coming out of
the-
Africa.
the first place to legalize
Oh
in
my God.
Africa,
I saw that.
legalize Africa, Lesotho. Oh, it's legalized in Africa.
And
You know,
they just-
clickbait.
they all fly in.
Now you can't unsee any of that. It's not legalized by us, so we'll get on to the next. You know,
Well, you're going
But
straight
now
to
wait,
there.
Well,
wait, with Lesotho now, if Canada's involved, are they going to stop the helicopter spray?
I don't think Canada's involved with this.
No, Canada. There's some Canadian influence in expertise in Lesotho from various places, whether it's with seeds or growing, or because I mean they've been growing.
Because they've been spraying those crops, eh?
That's
Remember,
In
Patricia
Lesotho.
de Lille got the DEA here to train our oats,
In
and we got the
Lesotho.
helicopter. Yeah.
Specifically in Lesotho.
Wasn't it?
No, not Lesotho. I've never heard of any
Not
spraying.
so
in
many.
Where
Lesotho.
were they spraying
It's
then?
not. It's not
Eastern
effective.
Cape.
Oh, I'm
Sky.
sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, no, it's all
Okay.
through. It's not.
Sorry.
I don't think I've ever seen it sprayed in the
Okay,
kingdom.
sorry.
But you've got to the heart of it there for a moment, was that it's not legal there because an oak was just bust at a Lesotho border post with 3.5 tons of weed.
Yeah, and a
No,
secret
they were-
truck, a secret compartment.
Yeah.
Imagine 3.5 tons. I mean, it's a truck. It's a container, but imagine 3.5 tons in a secret compartment. That's a fucking big secret compartment.
It's a big area. Like,
It's not-
oh.
So it could actually have been the decoy to the
And
other.
the
to
other
know what
one
I
the
mean?
bandit.
It was totally. I mean, there could be a full container behind it.
Maybe the truck was
And they
made
so
of weed.
befuck with what they just got here. Maybe the other one. There's a massive amount of growing going on in Lesotho at the moment.
3 tons.
3.4 to 3.6 tons, and
That's
it's
like a-
Lesotho National. We got the thing from a Lesotho newspaper. This is not reported in South Africa. It's reported in Lesotho, and they've got quotes from South African police saying they actually said this doesn't happen very often. At the Masiru gate,
Yeah.
he said this doesn't happen very often, which I thought was quite remarkable because they've been trying to get it out of Lesotho for about 400 years. You know,
It's
been
got the
going
mountain
out-
with a donkey.
yeah, well,
That's what
there's
he
all of
said.
that. Yeah, no, that's dear to my heart. Myrtle and I did some early days of Dagga couple. We started doing research on the Dagga donkeys, and we went to see some specialists in outside Bergville, and people who know the horses in the area, and they're sociologists at Pietermaritzburg University, and we got to hear the history of it. And it's all nothing's written down, you know, and it's all oral transmissions of. They know, they even do a thing with the donkeys on the way, when they push the donkeys down the path, one of them's got a bell and the rest follow the bell in the mist, and there's only one path, and they go down to Bergville for, 200 years. As long as there's somebody smoking it in Bergville, they'll have gone down. It's more than 200 years.
Huh.
So I've actually seen the donkey. The donkeys woke me up one time, long before I even knew any of this story, the early days of me being here. I'm hiking in the Drakensberg. And ding, 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 we got out the tent, and sure as shit, I'll never forget it. There's a whole bunch of donkeys walking past with these big, massive
No
bales
one
on
around
them
them.
Are you
each side.
serious?
And they're just following the ding, 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 ding as you're going down the mountain. And it
they
was
got
like,
Dagga.
pardon?
They
Yeah.
got Dagga.
It's
Yeah.
packed full of
Mini
massive
bags.
quanny.
And how
And
many
it's going
donkeys
down,
are
that was
there?
going down to the, down towards the police station, really. Somebody's down there to head them off at the pass. But you know how many donkeys die in the Bergville police station?
Why?
Because nobody gives a fuck. They get the weed.
And the
That's
donkey
what they're
just
after. They
stays.
put the donkey in the compound. Nobody gives a fuck about the donkeys. There's so many donkeys end up dying. at the other end of the line because they never get.
Why don't they feed them and that?
Not a fuck. That's all part of the story of the Dagga donkeys and the Lesotho. The Basuto at the top of the mountain. He says he asks us, "Bro, if we meet again," because the donkey knows how to get back. Because he's been met at the end by somebody who can feed him and water him and turn him around. But loads of them don't make it because the cops just take everything. They put the thing in a pen. It's not actually the Burgo police station. It's called, begins with M. There was a whole bunch of them there in a compound. I nearly said Mkumbati.
The shit's making me sad.
Anyway, so Lesotho's got a rich history of making weed, but not like this bud porn dank stuff. But I've smoked some high altitude Lesotho fresh weed before, and it looked awful. It was like this straggly stuff, but I got profoundly stoned off it. I don't know whether it was pleasant or unpleasant, but for what it was and what I smoked, fuck, I got goofed. It was after a sweat lodge. It was after a sweat lodge, and everybody had a toke of this thing, and Christ, it floored me. The hell of a thing. It's the only time I've ever smoked any of it that I knew was it, because it had just come from there.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's got its moments, that stuff, but a really short growing period.
But it does sound like, if you, I know it's so popular to do documentaries, but wouldn't it be such an amazing documentary story of those donkeys?
Pick me.
Just
we've
to
still
shoot
got-
from
I
light.
think that's so sad.
We've still got our notes. We've still got our notes, but to get people, we need a whole Lesotho film crew from Aziru.
I think we're going to have to be bored in post-legalization.
It's like,
but that's one of those things that might die out. That story might never get told because maybe legalization comes fast enough to Lesotho or to wherever that practice just stops.
That's so sad.
That would be like a closed chapter of a deep. I rate anyone watching this podcast or listening to it or whatever at some point in their life, and when they first started smoking weed, whether it was 2 years ago, 20 years ago, or 40 fucking years ago, at some point you have probably smoked donkey Dagga.
I haven't.
Yeah, completely. How do you know?
Don't even know.
They're bringing down 100 kilos each, and there's 10 donkeys, so there's 1,000 kilos. There's 1 ton in one shipment, and that's gone round the corner down into Natal, and it's gone up the N3 straight to Joburg, the Vaal Triangle, all the way through
And some donkeys
Soweto
are
and beyond.
dying.
And the donkeys get the rum
That's
deal
so
out of it.
sad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's no SAPS budget for donkey.
Come on, is there anybody out there who will sponsor us? We'll make a documentary.
I think
Documentary.
Hashtag
The
Penny.
Dagga donkeys.
Woolworths, if you're watching, it would be real fucking nice.
Leftovers.
If people came and you could do that thing, would you like to sponsor 2
My
rand
donkeys.
to the Dagga donkeys?
Did any of you watch Joanna Lumley, from Absolutely Fabulous? She tours Egypt and all that. I'll be her without the coke.
All right, cool. You got the job.
So guys, should we go into overtime because of the 10 minutes at the beginning?
Yeah, no, let's do
It's
some
8
overtime.
o'clock now.
Yeah.
So Jules, can we talk Disjointed yet? Have you watched any more of it?
The chips are finished.
Oh my God! No, there's another packet of evil radioactive things down there.
Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
Disjointed. If you
That
look at the pictures
series, Steve D'Angelo was angry,
about,
how they portrayed him. And everybody was commenting.
I don't know how they portrayed him. I haven't got to that episode yet.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen any of it. But it was last week. The night
but
that
that's
it
like
aired.
serious. So we're way behind.
People were coming on. They said that man who portrayed you, for somebody who started this movement and has done so much,
Such a good
that
thing
was
done.
disgusting. So I don't know how the hell this character portrayed him.
I don't know. That's pretty off the.
Now I want to see it even more.
Go to his timeline, and people were commenting. They were like, "We think it's so wrong." And
Oh really?
yeah.
So is that now in midway into series 2, perhaps, or
Yeah.
are they on series 3?
Season 2, I think.
I don't
Because I've
know.
only just got into halfway through.
People at work say they think of me when they watch that program.
Well, I think of quite a few things, and I'm just delighted that such a thing exists. If you can get past the stereotypes and some of the one-liners and the formulaic one-liner, punchline, canned clapping and laughter, that's how it is. That's how a sitcom is. So you get the one line, the second line, punchline, clap, or laughter from the canned audience, And that's the bit that irritates me, because that lacks spontaneity. It's all very contrived, but the undercurrents of all of the messages that are going out about weed and weed use and who uses it and how it's used and what it's used for, I think is pretty cool.
I'm going to watch that.
But it's not available. I don't have
I've got
Wi-Fi
it on
at home or anything. I've got a TV where I can plug a flash drive in.
Well, will that be put on a flash drive for you?
That works.
I've got a flash drive, yeah. I carry it
cool.
in my bag.
Let's talk about Pirate Bay.
Alright, sorry.
Right. And all that stuff.
Now he's on pirating.
Do you want me real nice and awesome?
to
If
our
you could
defense-
copy all those CDs for me.
To our defence, it's Series 1, like it's quite old.
Everything ages so quickly now, hey?
Damn
The
it,
years
man.
a long
Hey,
time.
be careful. Everything ages so quickly.
Me included, Oaks.
It's quite. There's lots of barriers being broken in this sitcom. There is, and people. I put a post up. What do you think? And it's totally polarised. You either love it or you hate it. Some people do think it for what it is. You've got to see it as a comedy because that's what it is. But if you start picking the bones out of how stupid some of these characters are, they're quite endearing, all of them, because you know somebody like them. And you know, it's all part of the rich life of. It bugs me, the set dressing. I would have thought if they can afford Kathy Bates, they can afford a set dresser as well, because that weed just isn't botanically correct. They could have, because it's not right. They've been at eBay, and on eBay there's like these 3 weed leaves on a stick that go like this, 3 prongs of doing. Yeah. So that is nowhere like a weed leaf botanically, because a weed leaf goes like this and drops down and flaps in the wind. But these are like this. Next time you watch it, they're all going doing, doing, because they just didn't get it quite right. And that was my job in the movies before all this shit happened. And I was a greensman, and we would emulate such stuff. Well, it's all about the budget, and you know, I've researched making prosthetic weed leaves and stuff. It's an arm and a leg. To hire them out would be an arm and a leg, but you know, more and more people are starting to think about it in the industry, because it's becoming part of more and more storylines. So anyway, the future might be prosthetic weed.
Yeah.
Sounds weird, huh?
The fakest.
Scratch and sniff.
What gets me
Simple.
about the show, though, is a lot of it's so stereotypical, and it's amazing how close it does cut to the activist bone sometimes. So it is a bit clever. So the co-writer's shot. But spoilers ahead, Yav. What really fucking killed it for me, because you give sitcoms like a bit of room to be funny and to be out there. But at the end of season 1, and if you don't want to hear the spoilers, stop it now. But it gets a bit out there, and there's this thing where the oak chops and has the buds ready to smoke within 1 day.
Ooh.
That doesn't exist. That's like too far out.
Definitely not woke.
Definitely not.
Are you done with your spoilers?
Yeah. Done with my spoiler.
Okay. You remember that movie Bad Moms? Now, over Christmas, there was the Bad Moms Christmas. You know? It came out.
I know it.
Okay. Well, I went to the premiere at my work. We have a cinema.
Okay.
That's actually very cool.
Nice.
And Susan Sarandon comes into it. One of the bad moms, I don't remember which one, she's her mother. And from the minute she gets out the taxi, she lights up a joint. That is the
She does in real life.
I know she's an activist,
Yeah, totally.
And all the TV series that I watch, there's always somebody who's now smoking a joint. And that's mainstream TV.
It's become so culturally acceptable.
I wish it was becoming more acceptable down at fucking Rockville Central.
You know, in Stellenbosch.
Jesus, dude, why don't they see this and say, all of these people look like you and I, doing exactly the same shit with the same hopes and dreams. It's working out there, but how comes it just can't work out here? South Africa's different. Is it fuck different? It's the same prohibition, the same fucking humans. It does my head in that nobody would believe you. Yeah, it's legal there, but that's not here. Well, what's the fucking point? What's
but it's also so available here that it almost feels like it's legal.
Jesus,
in the right circles.
You know, to loads and loads of people, they've never been anywhere near the cop shop, they've never smelt the fear, they've never ever been down the barrel of a gun at a roadblock because you fucking got an H-E in an ashtray. That loads of people have not been affected by prohibition yet. And there's other people who haven't fucking gone down for three times already, you know. You're doing it wrong. No. Brew, I've been busted for the 4th time. And we send back you're doing it wrong.
Not supposed
But
to get
there's a
caught.
lot of people who don't know, have.
No, they do
When you
not know
think-
the repercussions of being arrested for
Yeah.
having weed there and then, stinking a bit, red eye, joint in your hand, flashlight in the fucking face.
And
Your
it's that
life
fear.
has fucking changed
Sign
forever.
here and you can go.
Yeah.
It's that fear. Okay.
Right. Yes, like so. You know what? All of the people that went down in Stellenbosch, they knew what they were doing when they got there. You know, these are old, seasoned veterans
They've
of
underperformed.
all sorts of harassment by the cops, and now we've got enough social media and enough people on the outside to actually put this big picture together. Now, they can't get away with this shit much longer.
Oh, there's some meeting at a police station or something.
Yes, okay, guys, let me give you a bit of an intro. Not going to be mean here, but like, so after the Stellenbosch thing blew up, I know that Jeremy Acton from the Dagga party got on it pretty quickly, maybe a bit too hastily, and created this event that's literally happening tomorrow and Saturday.
Over the weekend, yeah. It's
And
quite
we
an
know it's
opening.
short notice because it just has been short notice all round. So, like, I think the deal is he's trying to encourage people to go to the cop shop with this form that you can go download on their site, daggaparty.org or .co.za, whatever. And you can go download this form, print it, fill it in, sign it, and then take it to a cop shop and say, back off.
Well, just you make it's addressed to the commander,
Yeah.
and you want it delivered to the commander, who will be nowhere near it until at least Monday when he gets back from his long weekend. And you have to, I would imagine, either get a receipt of it on a piece of paper to actually hold them accountable for the fact it was delivered, like the fucking sheriff, you know, or take a selfie. Get a picture at the cop shop with you. There's the Sophia Town or whatever, or in there, or with the guy. Be nice. We're not going. This is not total militancy.
Yeah.
We just want to hand in as many letters as we can around the country. It's a great initiative. It's the letters. The letter's huge. I think 17 pages long, and he spent all week doing it. And he's a master of the craft of doing legalese shit. You know, he's written all of these things for the Constitutional Court for years, but he's never written anything for the cops. So now he had to recraft all of this thing, and yes, as Jeremy, you dug a hole for yourself by putting the event up on Sunday and not having the fucking thing ready till Thursday. He got so many things going. Where's the letter? Can I have the letter? Where's it? He kept having to put up. Be patient.
Whoa, the cops.
Was that a bong?
Well,
But listen.
be patient, be patient. So it's like, it's out. And it's on the Dagga Party's front page, on the Dagga Party's Facebook
He's got an
page.
event. This is what I'm saying, because he's telling people to go to the event and say which cop station you're going to go to, and he wants people to kind of go together. So there's crowds. People must go onto the event and say which cop station.
Yeah, I think it's, guys, I'm going to be brutal here. The event could have used a week longer to be organized. So, honestly, we can say everything we want now. I don't know if we know what's going on. Check out the event on Facebook. Check it out on their page. I think that's the best place to stay up to date. But I think the spirit is print the letter, sign the letter, take
And
it to
in
the
your
place.
own time, you can do it Wednesday next
Okay.
week. You know, this is not like ready, steady, go.
Yeah.
I think it would impact the cohesion of having 20 people going at the same time, or 100. It takes, we know, weeks to get 100 stoners in the same place, Brew. No matter how mull they are with the visuals on Facebook, it's like herding kittens.
Cool. Guys, we're coming into land. Before we say shout out to affiliates and that, I think we can say it's official. D-Day, bitches.
D-Day.
Yes!
Yeah, no, Jesus.
Jules,
it's
what's going on?
always
Dan?
yes, it's the run up to launching the first flyer, getting your ducks in a row and spending months getting the permissions and shit and the maps and the jock and the people. Anyway, it went out and we're getting off the tarmac and into the park. And we'll tell you where the park is. It's in the Joburg area. and
When? When are you going to tell us?
When?
When are you going to tell us where
Oh
it
no,
is?
when we've got like 50,000 people a day coming through the site wanting to know where the fuck it is. And we're
But
going
it's
to
there.
lead you down the garden path. But it's on all the major routes. It's a really, really cool little secret that it's had events, but it's had very few events, and it's had 5,000 people in it. And if we get 5,000, I'd be absolutely chuffed. But that's another thing. There's loads of space, loads of view, and it's going to be bigger, better, faster. Some usual suspects on the stage because all of these party flyers from over the years. Tidal waves are there. They're going to be there again because we just couldn't do it without them. But we got lots of new friends this time, and Jesus, we just get more
and the time? What time does it start and end?
10 in the morning. So this is a wake and bake. It used to start at 1 till 1. Then we slipped it to 12 till 12, but people left at 10. So we reckon we're going to spin it to a daytime park jawl. Bring a picnic basket, a blanket, and some chairs and stuff, and hang out. There's tons of space, and we're going to put a load of gazebos up.
So it starts at 10?
10 in the morning till around about 8 in the evening.
But now you said bring a picnic. Aren't they going to
No, I
be food
said
trucks?
no, don't bring a picnic.
Okay.
Don't bring
the
food.
trucks
Don't bring
are there.
anything.
Are there going
Sorry,
to be
I
more
said
food
blankets.
trucks?
Blankets.
Sorry.
Blanket.
Are there going to be more food trucks? Because last year they were popular.
Guys, if I can, there's going to be more fucking everything.
Yeah, and don't forget we need pancakes and sweet shit because that pancake I couldn't keep up and then he fucking ran out. Yes, like.
We got you covered.
You want a fucking revolt?
Fucking a food riot, a munchie riot. Guys, it's been a great podcast. For D-Day though, I think on the fields of green.
Oh, the phone's ringing.
Oh, who's on the phone?
Hello? Oh, in the words of the late Fiona Coyne from The Weakest Link, to our police minister, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Moving on.
Goodbye. Sorry, guys.
D-Day's on. It's on the Fields of Green website. You'll see it under events.
Yeah.
It's
Facebook.
D-Day 4/20/2018. It's on Dagga Couple. It's within Fields of Green. It's on Quicket. It's coming at you very, very quickly. Saturday, the 21st of April, we're going to give the first, we're not sure how many people on the way in, a whole wake and bake kit so you can get completely trashed before
What's
lunch.
the entrance fee? I didn't see that.
160 bucks online and 200 bucks at the door.
Okay.
Help us out with an
So
online
it will be
ticket.
on sale at the door.
Well, you know what? There always has
will
been.
you,
Put it that way.
What
There
time
always
will you
has been.
stop sales
The
at
site,
the door?
guys,
We're not
the
sure.
site, the
Okay.
Facebook page, what we've done
Go
this
check
year,
it out.
we've made a real effort. The site's got fucking alles.
But it doesn't matter because you put
others?
it on there and they'll still ask, what time?
We'll answer
yeah,
politely,
but,
guys.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Oh yeah, and if you want to apply to be a vendor or a trader or whatever, on the dedicated page there are application forms. Fill them all in because it's all got the FAQs you need.
Yeah, it's really, guys, it's all there. It's streamlined. Sponsors, media, like you said, vendors. Go click on the thing. We'll
It's
speak
going
to
to be
you.
rocking.
Come
I'm
and say hello.
It's such. I'm so excited about the venue. It's a blind day out. Yeah, great view of
It's
Josie.
so nice.
It's going to be
Yeah.
It's going to be lit.
And
Let AF.
Bring your poi, let's dance.
Come stay lit. Guys, big shout out to our sponsors. Not so much for the podcast, but who support Fields of Green. We ask guys always, please go donate, join the Green Network. A gram a month. Please, 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 guys. Anything you can do, we really appreciate it. The guys who do things for us, go check out Friends of the Herb. Old friends, still around. Not much going on there, but really genuine, good people. Check out Oil to Health. These guys are all about like full extract cannabis oil and about like complementary therapy to go with it because it's a lifestyle change. And these oaks have been there, so they can speak. And then also I-420 Cape Town. iPhone 420 Cape Town. They got Kef shit. Go check it
I've
out.
got some great quality t-shirts. I got one.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
full on. And I wish the hell I got a bigger one. But that's just me. I'm just getting bigger.
Yeah, dude. But also Cape Town, everything's a hipster fucking cut. We don't all long.
Yeah.
And then last shout out to Gevaarlijk, guys. Pretoria.
Yeah, maybe we should get Gevaarlijk back here.
Yeah, man, they took lekker kak, eh?
Yeah.
Guys, should we be checking anything else out?
No, D-Day 420. If the cops rock up without a warrant, do not let them in. That's the whole point of this.
Yes.
Stand your ground, be brave, and if they do get in, film it. But they're not going to like it, but stand your ground.
But be polite.
Yeah.
Be
Also-
polite. And you have rights as a citizen. Never
Just
forget.
say no to getting fingered.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey,
Guys,
don't joke. Last time they fingered that oak in 4 ways with a lip ice. We never fucking heard what happened. It's not funny. They were two young guys.
Do you
And on the video, the guy's crying. He's like, please don't do that to my brain.